listening to the LOZ Podcast Network.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the LOZ Podcast Network. My name's Ken Lawler. I'm the developer of the LOZ app. And as you know, you can watch the LOZ Podcast Network in the app. You can also listen to it on KRMS radio on Saturday mornings from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. And on the show, we talk to people all over the lake about what's going on, what they're doing at the lake. It might be a realtor. It could be a business owner. Today, we're lucky enough to have Jesse Witt with Tiki Clean Boat and Dock Cleaning. Jesse, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
We're doing awesome, man. Hey, welcome to the show. I know we've been trying to get you on for 6 months, so I'm excited. Listen, boat cleaning, dock cleaning, it is something that goes on around that lake every single day of the year. Now we're into the winter. We just had our first snow. Everybody's kind of panicking to get their boat winterized and put away. What should they be thinking about doing?
Yeah, boat and dock cleaning is something that we've been involved in for many years. We actually started this company in 2009, and so we've been around for a long time. We get that question a lot this time of year. What should we do before we put the boat away? And I think for a lot of people, that's subjective to, what kind of condition are they ending the year in? A lot of times we kind of get some mechanics that are not super careful as they winterize or whatever it is. And it's not a great idea to leave the boat with oil or whatever the footprints are, from the winterization. So we have many customers that like to put the boat away very clean. And so we do what we call a detail and wax service for any fiberglass boat. And that's a full interior, exterior, cockpit, carpets, sea deck if it's there. Go through everything, glass inside and out, clean the covers well. And then we make sure that we get everything buttoned back up correctly and just put away so that it breathes throughout the wintertime. And, every snap is snapped right, the whole 9 yards.
Yeah, and I think that's important. You bring up a good point. Like, okay, we had our last party on the boat. We put it away for the winter. We still got footprints and you got crap that people dropped in your boat. Obviously, maybe they spilled a drink. You don't see it. Well, if that stuff sits all winter long, goes through the process of getting down to, 0 degrees and back, it's got to be a little tougher to get that clean when you get to the spring.
Yeah, if you broke the case of Coors Light in half in there, that stuff gets pretty nasty over the wintertime. And we've seen some pretty incredible refrigerators in the springtime.
Surprise, right?
Yeah.
And I guess you bring up another good point, too, about buttoning it up tight, because I think people sometimes, look, you waited to put your isinglass on until it was cold. So now it doesn't stretch. So now you don't get all the snapped and, you're trying to make it just work for the winter and you got these big gaps in there. You can't have that, right? You want to make sure everything's really buttoned up.
Yeah, totally agree. So, in addition to a snap being undone for an air gap, it also allows, the wind blows and that thing flaps. And then you've got, a whole different issue. You've got the snaps where it rubbed the fiberglass and it created a scratch. And, so now instead of in the springtime, you're just undoing the winter's grime, you're trying to fix issues that have been caused because you didn't put it away correctly. And so we really take time in this time of year. We're not so packed that we're, nobody's hurting. We're trying to get through everything completely, thoroughly. And then if there's any issues that we see because we're on these boats, probably a lot of times more than the owner is at the end of the season, we're looking for things that are issues. And then we try to do a very good job of communicating with our customers and letting them know of anything that we see.
Can I just put you guys on a program? Can I just say, look, every year, I'm going to need a spring cleaning. I'm going to need a wrap up at the end. I'm going to need a couple cleanings during the season. Do you guys have programs like that where you'll come in and you'll say, okay, we're going to put you on our program and here's how we do it. And depending on how, anal I am about my boat, I guess you could clean it as much times as you want, but is there something that the people can do that's reasonable?
Yeah, so absolutely. We have the initial clean and the end clean. We probably recommend the big one. It's called a detail and wax service. We have one that's slightly lesser. It's a detail without wax. Most times that is utilized by the guy with the boat that has maybe seen a little bit too much sun. They're not ready to invest in the point of doing a buff and wax or, a restoration type service. The detail and wax, or the standard wash, as we call that one without wax, is a great startup and end. Then we have what's called a maintenance wash that can be utilized for those interim cleanings throughout the year. And so there's not necessarily a program, and the reason is Lake of the Ozarks. What I love about Lake of the Ozarks is your boat is perpetually dirty. If
right.
You go down there on Saturday morning and you leave the cover off all day on Sunday morning, there's work to be done, and that's great for a guy like us, a guy like me in this business. But I can tell you that, it's not great for us to clean your boat and then you not see it for 3 weeks, because there will be, stuff that needs done, especially during pollen season at the beginning of the year. So that maintenance wash is designed to where you can call in, you can email in, you can text in. Even our website now, there's an inquiry. You can just do a direct book from our website now, or an inquiry, and then we reach out to you. And that maintenance wash, we do it on an as needed basis. So if you say, hey, I'm going to be there Thursday this week, we do our best to do it Thursday morning, potentially Wednesday afternoon. I mean, as close to when you're going to be there as possible. So you guys get to, see the reward of paying for a professional cleaning. You get to enjoy the benefits of that like immediately.
And you can see it on the screen there. And if you're on the radio listening, it's TikiCleanLOZ.com. You just go there and you can contact Jesse and all his people, and they're going to get you going. I always think it's funny when in the springtime, and particularly I see it with people who maybe bought their first lake home and they're out there power washing everything, in March 1st. And we haven't even hit the pollen season yet, right? And so it's like, this is going to be, I'm going to see you out there 5 more times. The pollen we get at the Lake of the Ozarks has got to be one of the nastiest pollens going.
I agree. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I hear it called everything. People call it pollen. They call it the green stuff. I hear it called some words we shouldn't be using on the air.
Right.
Pollen is crazy. I mean, I tell people that as a rule of thumb, it's not really over until Memorial Day. I mean, that's pretty much that's the cutoff. As far as cleaning prior to that, I mean, the boats get nasty over the winter time. And especially late April and early May, that's the kind of the bulk of pollen season. And so, if you're not going to use the boat prior to Memorial Day, you pretty much should hold that cleaning off. Our business, we could do as much as we could possibly do the week before Memorial Day. I'm not asking for business during that week, but
you guys are filled up. You could probably already tell me you're filled up that week, right?
We are literally have a whole list of people on that week already. It's crazy, but yeah. So, I mean, pollen is definitely probably the biggest challenge. We really try to take our time with covers and canvas. Canvas material is what holds pollen. And so, if you have a slick cover, you have a Marine Concepts cover, or you have they would call it Aqualon, but if you have a slick cover, you're able to, those are a lot easier to clean than one that is canvas. But we do our best to get through those and make sure that you're cleaned up so that we don't see you out there 6 more times dealing with the cover after. So once we come in there and clean it, a lot of times customers are able to kind of maintain it on their own, or if they have a weekend they don't want to, they use that maintenance wash we talked about.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of really kind of joining you guys for the year, because you can kind of plan out what you're going to do. You might do a deep cleaning right when the season opens, because maybe you use your boat early. The pollen's coming, but you still want to get out there on the boat, and then you come back and do a refresh, right before the big holiday or something like that. But I mean, there's a lot of ways to put that program together. It's kind of nice that you guys can handle all that for someone, and just make sure that they don't look. We got enough to do. Just getting the house ready, make enough money to pay for the gas when the family gets down, because everybody alligator arms you anyway. So I mean, you have to really decide. What do you want to do? Do you want to just spend your whole time working on the boat and the dock and all that? And you guys and let's talk docks too. I mean, because it's not just boats, right?
Yeah. So to address the the way the process works, and as far as services, we have been in this business a very long time, and over those years we have streamlined our processes, our leave behind. And what I mean by leave behind is when we clean your boat, every single time from your steering wheel, we leave an invoice. That invoice it outlines exactly what we did. We check mark each box that as we did them. Not only is it a checklist for the customer, it's a checklist for us. We go through that service, we go through that service entirely, each list, each line item. And then we leave that on your steering wheel so you can go back through, see exactly what you paid for. And then, you can request a receipt at any point in time. So, we've really refined that over the years, and we have a great staff that works with us that really help us, keep that stuff going. As far as docks go, that is not super new for us. Sorry, we got somebody running around the background.
That's okay. There's a lot of action going on, man.
Yeah. Even this time of year, it's crazy. We have 3 crews out working today in the cold. So, so dock cleaning, we have a purpose-built boat. That has been a big deal. The purpose-built boat has really enabled us to do excellent work with proper equipment. So, we have commercial pressure washers capable of cleaning the bottom of your 40-foot, roof, peak of your roof on your dock.
You got all
And,
this. You built a boat to do this, right? I mean, this boat shows up and it's got all this equipment on it. You can hit any dock you want with it.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, and everything is self-contained. So we actually draw water in, filter the water before it gets to our pressure washers. And then, we don't need to rely on your dock water or your dock electricity or whatever. The boat is completely self-sufficient. And
wow.
it's been a big deal. We house it it's actually at my house, the 6 mile marker. And, so you can always check that out. And yeah, it's been awesome.
That's incredible. So, I mean, you guys, look, if you guys need to get something done on your boat or your dock and you're done messing with doing it yourself, I've been there myself. Look, there's enough to do around the house. You got to call these guys. They've been around forever. I've known Jesse since, the last 15 years. I've seen him on docks and boats crawling around this lake, and he knows everything about it and knows what's going on. I would suggest, if you're watching this, get prepared. Don't wait till the week before Memorial Day, because you're not going to get in.
Please don't do that.
Call him in January. He's got time to talk to you. They got time to put you in the stuff. Guys, thanks so much. Jess, thanks for joining us. I'm looking forward to talking to you some more. I know you're going to be a kind of a regular here throughout the year. We'll get you back on once we get into the season. But thanks for letting everybody know how to finish up the winter season, get that boat ready to go. So when we get to the spring, we can actually enjoy boating. I know it's a little bit of snow right now, and maybe the weather's not perfect, but guys, it's not too far away. We're going to be back out on that lake, and it'll be a blast. But Jess, thanks for joining the show. We will see you soon.
Yeah, thank you for having us. And you guys can always get to us at tikicleanloz.com. We appreciate that. And we'll see everybody at the boat shows.
All right, everybody. We will be right back after these words.